Now.
Hi, welcome back. So a whole year has gone by and we finally finished our van. It was a great COVID project for us, and we've actually been living in it for the last couple of months. So we're filming here in Ontario. We're making our way across Canada and then eventually down into the US once the border opens, down into Mexico and beyond from there. So really excited to give everybody the tour, so come on around the side and we'll start there. So this is a 2019 Ford Transit, and it's just the regular length, 148-inch wheelbase, and we did a few additions to it. We put new wheels on it and new tires, so we wanted to get the beefier. These are the KO2s 255s, and I know this is a big question for us when we were doing our van. We wanted to really make sure that these bigger tires fit, because if you do the Google search, it'll tell you that they don't fit, but they do fit, and we love them. We haven't had any issues with them at all, and the road noise is minimal. So we wanted to jazz up the van a little bit, so we put some racing stripes on it. So we'll show you the racing stripe around the front, but it comes all across and it comes down the back, and we added a little Canadian flair here with maple leaf. And we also had the back windows tinted, just to finish off the look and give us a little bit more privacy and keep the heat out. And then we added, this is our logo here, Nomad and Rad, and so this is the maple leaf. We like to forage mushrooms, so these are mushrooms. This is the Inglewood goose from the neighborhood that we used to live in. That was sort of the mascot for our neighborhood, and we love being in the outdoors, so the mountains and the streams signify that. In 2009, we had another van before this one that we didn't live in full time, but we spent a lot of time in it and went down to Mexico for about 6 months in it. So we figure we've been van lifers since 2009, so that's what that means. So we put the roof rack on. We built that out of Unistrut, and we have a 320 watt solar panel, which has been plenty for us. These orange things are our recovery boards. If we get stuck, we just slide them underneath the tires. If we get stuck in sand or mud, they'll help pull us out, and we hope that we never have to use them. And then, let's see, this little thing here is just the exhaust for our propane heater. And these windows we put in, this was just a plain cargo van, just a big metal box, and so we put windows on either side.
And the step.
And here's the inside. So we also installed this step to help us get in and out easier, and this is a Magzo mosquito net, which we love. We had it custom made for under $100. It took them about a month to get it to us. We just sent them the dimensions, and we wanted to have two tie backs, and it's brilliant. We really love it, and we've really needed it here at nighttime in Ontario. The bugs like to come out, so it's been great to keep the doors open and allow some airflow, but keep the bugs out. And just before we go inside, so this is our dining table. It lives here, except for when we need to use it. It attaches to a lagoon arm here, which is an aluminum arm that swings around, so we can use it here and lower it up and down if we want to sit here and use it, the computer, use it as a desk, and then we can raise it up a little bit and swing it around so that we can sit inside on the couch if the weather's bad and we need to be inside to eat our meals. So come on inside. The floor, and we wanted to make the van as eco-friendly as possible, so the floor is made of marmoleum, which is all natural products and can actually just be composted once we're finished with it. We insulated it with Havelock sheep's wool, so you can see here, I've got a little space here where you can see the wool poking its way out. So we didn't want to have any products in here that were going to be off-gassing living in such a small space, so we used low VOC paint on all the cabinets, and we sealed the countertop with a natural oil sealer. We have a swivel seat here. Of course, we just have one because this doesn't move. This is our bed that I'm sitting on. So this seat can move forward and backward, and it swivels around, and obviously swivels all the way around so that I have somewhere to sit when we're driving. And our headliner here, this is a big, in the Transit, this is a big kind of empty waste of space. So if anybody from Ford is watching this, we think that you should change this, and you should build your Transits with a bigger headliner already done. So this one we made ourselves and then had it upholstered, and we had some cushioning added to this in case we, knocked our heads when we're getting back into the seat. Fortunately, that's never happened, but it's a great place to store. These are our window coverings that we had made at WeatherTech, and they fit perfectly into the 3 windows at the front here, because we use this space at nighttime quite a bit. And yoga mats, and a bit of extra storage for shopping bags and my purse and things like that. And we have LED lighting strips in the van. One runs down the middle. We opted for these instead of the pot lights, and both of them are on a dimmer, so we can set the mood if we like. And this little we brought a few pieces of art from our house just to make it feel more like home for us. So this is a license plate that we had made on our Southeast Asia trip in 2015. We took our boys for a year-long backpacking trip in Southeast Asia and had that made. So we have our smoke detector and fire extinguisher back there. This is where we hang all of our hats. And we opted to cut off some of this black blob here that's everybody asks about in the Transits. It's part of the
Get an angle on that.
Sure, it's part of the airbag system, but this part that we cut off doesn't impact the airbag system whatsoever. So, and then our couch here, this is also our bed. So the couch is a great place to nap during the day. We can eat here when it's not conducive to eating outside, and then the bed just slides over right to here. So it's a really nice, and these, the backrest here just folds down, so it's completely flat and very, very comfortable. I like to hang my feet over the edge, so the option of sleeping sideways at the back wasn't going to work for us. And we like to have this galley space, so we have more kind of living space. It feels more spacious than typically you have if you've got the bed at the back. And these drawers down here, they hold our heavy items that we used to store on the roof of our old van, so barbecue and Coleman stove. We have these fancy little locks here so that we don't have to worry about the doors opening when we're driving. And then in here we have our lawn chairs and some ropes and extra shower shoes and things like that.
In case people are wondering, the outside edge of the bed is supported with these folding legs. They fold down.
Oh yeah, so I'll show you how
and
those
support
work. So when we pull the bed out, these come down and support the bed on this side. We also, underneath here is where we store all of our bedding, so duvet and pillows and blankets and things. So that keeps it out of the way, which is great. And then we'll move up here to our, these are our cupboards. So this is all the clothing that we have. So this is Ramey's side and this is my side. This is also where we keep extra books, and I've got a little thing where I keep a bit of jewelry and towels. So not much in the way of clothing, but you know what? We tend to wear all of our favorite things, and that's it. So we don't need much. And we're planning on being in warm climates, so we also don't need much. Several bathing suits up there. This is our little art corner here. My friend Suzanne made this little piece of art which we had hanging in our house for years. Got a little Buddha, let that shit go. So we thought that was appropriate, and then my dad, I gave this to him for Christmas, and a little puzzle, and then he made it and gave it back to me so we could hang in the van. And this is as close as we could get to a full-length mirror. This is just a little piece of mirror that we bought in the kids section at IKEA for $7. And then these little clips here, little hooks, are for, we can put the iPad here, and so if the time ever comes when we want to watch a movie, that hasn't happened yet, we can take the iPad and we can place it here and we can watch a movie from bed. And this is our little library here. This is kind of the last piece of building that we did. We had 5 or 6 inches of extra space here, so we put a little shelf in here so we can store our books there. And then up here we just store extra coffee and Kleenex and sort of bottles and jars of things that are too tall to fit in our cupboard. And this is our NovaCool 12-volt fridge, which we really love. It's got tons of space. It's got a nice crisper for all of our vegetables and things. Lots of room for sparkly water and tall things, cream and that sort of thing, and a really large freezer. So that was a pretty key thing for us, is to have a big freezer. So love the fridge. It's perfect for 2 people. And then here's our closet where we keep our coats, jackets, kind of cool weather stuff. Oh, I actually even have a dress in there in case the opportunity ever presents itself. And so we just put these sliding doors on here, which seem to work really well. And then we found this metal grating at Home Depot, and loved the look of it, and so needed to find some way to incorporate it into the van. And it works out perfectly, not only for kind of a design on the closet doors, but also for air circulation for our clothes. And then we have a 3-burner Dometic cooktop. This runs on propane, and we love it. It lights every single time, which is unlike our stove that we had at home, so really love this. And then these 3 drawers here, we have the same locks on these drawers. We know that when this lock is turned this way, it's open. You can see the little silver screw there, and when it's that way, we know it's locked. So that if I'm sitting when either one of us are sitting at the front and we look back, we can just tell at a glance if it's locked or not. So this is pots and pans, and these are really heavy pots and pans, and we have this lovely divider here in the drawer that we can keep our cutting boards and our griddle and things like that from smashing around, just kind of keeps them separated. And we have a similar one on this side for our little cutting boards. So those are some of the little quality of life things that we love about this van. And this Scirocco fan was really expensive. It was well over $200. Sorry, but it's awesome and we love it. And it provides circulation in here when we don't have the doors open or can't have the doors open. And it's got 3 speeds, and it's also got 3 settings, so 3, 6, or 9 hours you can set it to on a timer. And it's also it's on a gimbal, so we can move it this way and this way, so we can lock it out of the way when we're driving, and we can point the fan in whatever direction we need the air to blow, and then it's got this little lock on the top, so we can lock it in place. So we love that. It's well worth the money. Paper towel holder, and this is all of our electrical system here. So this is our heater. This controls the LED lights that are above my head here. And these are really awesome too, because we have 110, and we can charge, and USB plugs, so we can charge our cell phones or our battery chargers at the same time. So that's really great. And then this little button here is our water pump for our sink. This is all our kitchen stuff. So, just got cream and sugar and butter and those sorts of things. And then this is where we keep our plates and bowls and cups. And this is our Berkey water filter. So lots of van lifers have one of these. This is the travel size. And we built this special cabinet to hold the filter. It's gravity fed, and it filters out everything, including pharmaceuticals. So we know that no matter where we are in the world, we can fill this with whatever water we can find, and always have fresh, clean drinking water, and it always tastes the same, which is really awesome. So we just pull it out, set it on the counter. We can, we've got a sprayer on our hose here. We can just fill it up, and then put this back, put the Berkey back, let it drip, do its thing, and we're good to go. And a couple hooks here for hanging dish towels and washcloths and that sort of thing.
Talk about why we mounted it up high.
The Berkey?
Yeah.
Oh, we mounted it up high so we could get our cups or, tall water bottles or whatever underneath it. We didn't want to have it here and have to move it all the time. We didn't want to have it interfering with our countertop, which is one of the most important things. Can't believe we haven't talked about that yet. So we have 8 feet of counter space. we both like to eat really well on the road and like to cook, and we use all of this space every single meal. By the time we get our plates out and we've got our cutting board out and our ingredients for cooking, it's just super awesome. And we always like to wash our hands while we're cooking, so we didn't want to have a cutting board that fit over here that we had to use as cutting board space, because we need to be able to use the sink while we're cooking. And then our faucet is a touch faucet, so kind of fancier than you need in a van, but it actually is really nice because we can set this for we're really worried about water consumption in a van. So this way we can turn it on and we can wash our hands with just this tiny little drizzle of water and then shut it off. So that's really cool. And then we have, I always wanted to have an in-counter sink soap dispenser, so we have that too. Oh, and I forgot to go show you a few things over here, so we're going to go back on this side. So this is another thing I always wanted to have in our house, is a slide-out pantry. So we have 3 shelves there of all of our, kind of grains and beans and lentils and all that sort of stuff. And then just a couple of drawers here for extra things. And then this, everybody wants to know, where's your bathroom? Here's our bathroom. So we have a little cassette toilet that we can take out, and we just, the top piece of it comes off. The bottom piece is where the liquids go, so we can dump that in any outhouse or regular toilet in someone's house or wherever we happen to be. And we built this little shelf over the wheel well of the van, and that stores toilet paper and a little garbage and some cleaning stuff. And that also locks in place when we're driving. And then over here,
I could mention the wheels.
Oh yeah, the wheels of it rolls really nicely on skateboard wheels. So that was another, and we have a little lock here, so if we're driving and I'm having a pee while we're driving and we're going around a curve, we have this little brake lever right here that keeps the wheels from moving and keeps the toilet from sloshing around. And then on this side, we have our water tank that sits under here, underneath the counter, and it's quite tall. So it left us with this narrow space here. So we only had about six or 7 inches of space. So we created a spice rack here, and then this was our neighbor Sabina's idea. We were going to do slide out doors here, and we're really glad that we didn't. It took a little extra engineering, but we ended up doing a pop-out cabinet. So it seems to be a great place for us to store our alcohol and a few tall bottles of oil and things like that. So that's really great. Love that. And I think that's about it. Under here, this is where we store our garbage, and our son Bowen bought us this wonderful silicone pop-out dish rack, so that works really well. And this is our gray water tank here. So we didn't want to have to worry about going to a dump station every time we wanted to dump our black water or gray water. So the gray water, just when this is full, we can just take it and dump it wherever we are. Just dump it over a tree or whatever. We make sure that we use good biodegradable soap and make sure it's good for the environment. Ready to do the outside?
Sure thing.
Okay.
I'll switch hosts now.
Okay.
Continue the exterior tour. Just showing the racing stripes at the front of the vehicle, and these appear to add about 10 kilometers per hour to our top speed. So I'd highly recommend them. This just demonstrates the tip-out windows for ventilation from the outside. These are C.R. Lawrence windows that we installed ourselves. Terrifying job. Up on the roof is our roof box where we carry extra gear and supplies. And I'll explain how I get to that in a second. As well, we opted for the frame-mounted propane tank. That's, I can't remember, I think it's about a 30-liter tank of propane, and that of course supplies energy to the water heater the stove and the space heater inside, the Propex heater that heats the interior. Big thing that seems to come up in van conversions is, what do you do with all your shoes? So we found these shoe storage pockets at Canadian Tire, and I just mounted them to the plastic panels in the rear door. This is kind of dead space in here anyway, so it was a really good application. Going around to the back, we'll start at the top corner. This is our telescoping ladder. That's how I access the cargo box and clean off the solar panels as required. And this is just a custom built rack that I made to store the van. These, oops, probably should have done the other side. This is what keeps the ladder in place. Moving down, just a whole bunch more storage. We have a folding table, the cat sanitation shovel, leveling blocks, toolbox, various other storage items required. In behind is the electrical compartment. It's all Victron equipment. We have a converter charger, takes in shore power and will charge the batteries. Also provides the 110 to the sockets that we showed you inside. Also have a battery-to-battery charger that charges the batteries off the alternator, and a solar power controller. Moving along, this is our bamboo shower mat. It's what we stand on while we're bathing out the back of the van. And that's done through this EcoTemp water heater. Now this provides hot water to the sink that we already showed you. As well, there is a shower head that we can use off the back of the van and have a nice hot water shower.
And we also sometimes shower at the front.
We sometimes use the pull-out nozzle off the sink as well and just shower off the side of the van. If you go, you can see just the back end of the water tank. That's how we monitor the water level. It holds 104 liters, and this is the filler cap here that we fill the tank from with the breather as well. Looking up, there's a heat shield I built because the water heater vents out the top. Was gathering a lot of heat underneath the counter, which didn't seem to be a good thing. So I built that aluminum heat shield to direct the heat up and out the back of the van.
And bike helmets.
Yep, just storing the bike helmets there for now. Some exercise equipment, jungle control device, and some more shoe storage off the back of the door here. Our bike rack is a sport rack, swiveling rack. We sourced that through Canadian Tire. That allows us to open the back doors while the bikes remain on the rack. We're not having to tip them down. It's quite easy for one person to manipulate and move the bikes out of the way. And it's been very secure so far. The only issue being that when this door is closed, there's a nice vertical surface here, and we believe that while traveling gravel road, the rock ricocheted off this and smashed the back window. So we're still figuring out how to deal with that. We may deal with that using mud flaps on the back wheels, and I'm thinking of some sort of aluminum or plastic shield that would knock rocks back down rather than allowing them to ricochet off this horizontal surface.
But for now, we don't travel faster than 50 kilometers an hour, because
Actually 40 or less.
40 or less. Okay. And I think that's it.
Yes, that's it. The van is done.
Yeah, and we are camped out by this beautiful historic church on the Bruce Peninsula in Ontario. It's beautiful here. We're on our way somewhere else today, but this is a really nice place to stay overnight. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody.